Hey everybody, welcome to Apex Syndicates. Yes, my background is a little bit different. I am not in the jungle. I'm actually in a concrete jungle. I'm in Guatemala City. Let me just pick up my laptop there, give you a view. I don't know if you can see kind of from this angle, but right over there, right up there, where is it? I think it's actually right behind that building right there. We have some volcanoes, Volcano Agua and Fuego here in Guatemala City. And sometimes it's pretty cool. You can actually see them erupting at nighttime. So pretty awesome. So welcome to Guatemala. So anyways, hope everybody's doing well. I've been traveling the last few days, so I haven't been able to do any live streams. So I do apologize for that. Hope you're all doing well, having a good day. And yeah, kind of settling into the week. Yeah, yesterday I was driving here to Guatemala City. It's about an 8-hour drive from where I'm at in the jungle. So, but yeah, thank you so much for joining. I really do appreciate it. And if you don't mind giving us some thumbs ups, some likes, some comments, ask me about any projects or any coins. I'd be happy to check them out, go over the charts, take a look at it. So I'd love to, bring you into the community. So make sure you check that stuff out, and I'll be happy to take a look at stuff for you. So, but anyways, today's video was called Disco, the next LandWolf. So once again, Disco truly is still one of my favorite coins out there. And I just wanted to go over and share the screen here. Let's check this out. Let me go. Boom, boom, boom. So it's hovering at $1 million market cap. It's really holding really well. I mean, it's building a very strong floor. And you can see here from October 22nd, it's pretty much been trading sideways all the way up here now till October 28th. Yeah, a couple little pumps, 1.4, 1.5, but it's really resistance is really holding quite well around this $1 million market cap. And that's fantastic. Consolidation is very important for coins. And it's just a matter of time before, they start to pump and go parabolic, because the markets are improving. I mean, what is Bitcoin and ETH right now? Let's just take a quick look. So if we go over here to CoinGecko, Bitcoin is up 5.4% in the last 7 days, down a little bit on the 24-hour, but still holding pretty good at 114K. Ethereum up 6% on the 7-day, down a little bit today, not so bad, but still holding, it's a $4,100 token. So not so bad. So there's still quite a bit of fear in the markets, but things are recovering. Things are looking a lot better. So that is really good for us as investors. Buy in fear, sell in greed. So if you guys have been accumulating, like I've been saying in my last videos, buy the dips, look for good projects, look for communities that are posting, building a strong community, get involved into those types of communities, and, get ready for the rocket ship to the moon. And that's really what I see here with Disco. Okay. Because like I said, there's a lot of factors that really make me love Disco. One, it's the artwork, it's the community, it's the team, it's a Matt Fury play. I love Matt Fury memes. And like I said, it's very well distributed. When you go over here to their bubble maps and you kind of come out, like, it's really not bad. There's a couple wallets here, but they're small, very few big bundled wallets. Okay, so that right there, fantastic news for me as an investor. It gives me a little bit more confidence, that there's not going to be like, whatever, a dump or a rug or anything like that. So this really, really gives me more confidence when I look at Disco on that level. Now, I mentioned before, I said, I think Disco is the next LandWolf. Now, the thing is, you're looking at a 23x, 20, let's hold on. So right now Disco's at $1 million market cap. Let's go over here to LandWolf, and LandWolf is at a 23.8. So we're looking at roughly a 23x for Disco to overtake LandWolf. Now, the reason I say it can do this is that LandWolf has been trading sideways pretty much since March 2025. I mean, there's been a few little pumps, but not much action, just pretty much sideways action. But the thing is, I think the people are just afraid to get into it. The reason being is that it's an old token and it's crazy bundled. I mean, guys, this thing is just beyond, it's unrepairable. It's disgusting. When you start to pull out these bundled wallets, there's nothing left. There is no community here, right? And, I think LandWolf launched before there was really bubble maps, right? So they weren't worried about that. They just launched it. They sniped all the tokens, kind of a cabal, and they pushed it up there to, crazy numbers. And then people FOMO in. And then what happens is these cabals, they kind of take profits and they sell out on the, the people buying in, the fear of losing out, the FOMO. And that's what you really have left. I mean, look at those tokens. Look, these are bundled too. Look at this. These are all bundled. Look, I mean, it's crazy. There's really no token holders here. So this is why when I say I look at LandWolf, and even their art, there are things like that. Yes, they have 26,000 followers. But they're not, they're getting good engagement. I do like their artwork, but the problem I see, like I said, is the bundled wallets. And it's kind of a stagnant coin. It hasn't really done a lot in the past, in the last close to a year. So this is let me see. Oh, shoot. I didn't share the tab. So hold on. I'm sharing the tab here. Let me scroll back up. Got to remember to do that. So over here, LandWolf, like I said, they're getting good engagements, things like this. They have a great, good sized community, right? But if I was a LandWolf holder, I would definitely be looking at Disco, because Disco is the new kid on the block, right? It's the new guy that's got a lot of potential. And I'll tell you this right now, for a project like Disco to overtake LandWolf, I don't think it's far fetched. I really don't. So if I was a whale or I had, a big bag of LandWolf, I would definitely be diversifying at least. I would be diversifying, and I would be throwing some money into Disco because I see the potential there. Just my personal opinion, my personal thoughts and opinion, not financial advice, but that's what I see because of the bundled wallets, on LandWolf. It's a little bit disturbing. And I'll tell you this, when Disco can overtake LandWolf, when that happens, if we can see Disco do a 23x, which I think can happen this bull run, the FOMO that would kick in, the absolute euphoria for people throwing money into Disco, it would be so easy for Disco to fly to, hundreds of millions of dollars in market cap. It really could happen. Those are just my thoughts and opinions. The next coin I wanted to show you guys was Andy. Andy's another, older Matt Fury play coin. Ran up to some crazy numbers, 36 million, right? Holding a 34 million, pretty much trading sideways since March. Same thing as LandWolf, had a few nice little pumps, a couple little pumps, but, really a lot of pretty much sideways action. The thing is, very similar bubble maps. Not as bad, but still pretty bad. You start pulling all these out, there's quite a few different separate bundles, right? Not as big as like one bundle, but if you start pulling out all the bundles, there's not a lot of actual individual token holders left. So same exact analysis as I did with LandWolf. It's not a bad project. I like Andy. I think Andy's got a lot of potential, but if I was choosing to get into a Matt Fury play, I'd pick Disco. I would. It's the new kid on the block, because you can see there's bundle. So those are just my quick analysis by looking at it, right? Let's take a quick look at Andy. Andy's X, 26,000 followers, big community for sure, and great engagements, right? So they're there. I think these guys can definitely make some moves this bull run. But once again, if I was a big Andy holder, I would be looking at diversifying and holding myself a Disco bag because I see the potential. I see a stronger potential in Disco than I do with Andy. That's just my brutal, honest truth. That's what I see. That's what I feel. And that's what I'm definitely investing in. So let's see if anybody's made any comments. Anybody over here? Anybody shooting the shit? Hey, anybody have any questions on anything? Feel free to ask me some questions. I'm a little bit sick today, by the way. So I don't know if you hear, I'm a little congested. I'm not used to the city. So there's like, cars and smoke and all those types of things, and it really is like clogging me up. So I'm a little bit under the weather. So I do apologize for that. But yeah, feel free, everybody, ask me some questions. Let me know if you see any thing you want me to look at. I'm going to go over and I want to check out Trash Coin and Shit Coin. All right. Shit Coin. So look, it's back up to 600K. The other day, it dumped down. Where was it? Let's see. I'm just right here. It dumped down over here to like 520K or something. I loaded up. I was loading up. I bought about $4,000 or $5,000 of shit coin, and yeah, I mean that was just a great entry. So anything for me, anything below 400, 500K, I'm going to be just eating that stuff up. I'm going to be eating that shit coin up. That's what I'm going to be doing. I think it's just too good of a narrative to not run this bull run. That's my personal thoughts on shitcoin. I really love it. And like I said, the overall markets are still a little messed up. There's still fear out there. And I think, we're going to see some volatility on a lot of these types of projects. So if I see the dips, I'm definitely buying them. Same with Disco. I mean, if it dips down below 1 million, I'm buying it. If I see Disco dropping, down to whatever 800K or something like that, I'm going to be throwing money at it because it's just too good. That's too good of an entry, for me and that's my personal thoughts. So shitcoin holding up really well, considering the market conditions. Definitely a great investment in my opinion, but not financial advice. Let's check out Trash Coin 2.5. Man, I mean, this thing is becoming an amazing stable coin. Like it's just running and just trading sideways, consolidating. And, shitcoin or trash coin ran all the way up to almost $15 million market cap. And pretty much since, what are we talking? September 7th. I mean, pretty much sideways action, pretty much flatline, a few little dips, a few little peaks, but pretty much holding that $2.5-3 million market cap level. So for me, Trash Coin, once again, they're posting regularly on X. It's a really good community. They've got great art. They're definitely just constantly posting great engagements. And I definitely think that Trash Coin is one of those projects that can easily go 30, 40, $50 million market cap this bull run. So I load up on Trash. Like I said, for me, if I see Trash drop below 2 million, same thing. I'm loading up on it because I think that's an easy 20, 30x project this bull run. So those are my thoughts on those three projects. So see if anybody's asked me any questions. Disco will make millionaires. Mo money. Yes, I do agree. I think Disco can and will make millionaires. I definitely agree with you. Definitely has that potential. Please look at Charizard on base. All right, let me take a look at that. Give me a second. Bear with me, people. Bear with me. Give me a second. Man. Okay, is this the one? Charizard. 200K market cap. Let's take a look. Wow, nice upward trend. Let's see. When did you launch? It's been out, so let's see here. So this launched September 25th, and we're right at all-time high. Basically, we're right there at that. 200K is pretty much all-time high. Okay, let's check it out. Let's look at the website. The King of Charizard on base. Cute looking little dragon guy. Hold, moon, flex, repeat. I like it. Simple. I mean, not a lot to it. I mean, the website doesn't like really grab me. I like the guy. I like the character. He's cool. Kind of ripped dude. I like it. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Let's check out their X. Maybe there's something more on their X that will sell me on it. Let's take a look. 480 followers. Oh, excuse me, guys. Sorry, bear with me. I'm got this through. Decent engagements. I want to see this adult content. Show it to me. Where's the adult content? That's not adult content. Come on, you got me all excited. Look, I mean, graphics are good. I mean, the character's cool. I mean, it probably has potential. It really probably has potential. Got some good KOLs, people, some familiar faces talking about it. So I definitely think it has potential. Love this. I'm not holding a lot of base tokens right now other than Trouble on base. I think that's going to be just absolutely insane V4 decks. So look, Charizard on base probably has potential. Looks, decent. I think when base, I love that one. I love this whole mushroom thing. I love it. Sign me up. I do microdosing a lot. It helps. Tell you, microdosing is one of the best things you can do. It takes away stress, anxiety, builds a better relationship, and makes ordinary, mundane tasks a lot better. So I can totally relate with this image. It's amazing. So listen, like I said, I think what will happen with base and base tokens is that when the overall crypto market goes bananas and base starts to really make some moves, which I think it will, I think that's when you'll see all of the base tokens blow up, right? When will that happen exactly? I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't tell you exactly. But I do think we're going to see some really good move, some action on base. Excuse me, this bull run. And like I said, projects like this, I think, can do really well. So yeah, there you go. Steven, Zombie, looking great. All right. Give me a second. Let me see if I can find that. ZOMBI, Zombie Inu? Let's see. Hold on. Am I spelling that wrong? Give me a second. Which one did you say it was? ZOMBI, Zombie. ZOMBI. All right. That's what I thought I typed in. The only one I see is Zombie Inu. Is this the one? Is this the one you're talking about? I don't see any socials linked to it. 199K market cap. Zombie Inu. I don't know. Let me know if that's the one you were looking at. I don't see any socials or anything linked to Dex Screener, so I'm not sure on that one. Steven, sorry about that. Man, I can't copy. Unfortunately, I can't copy these addresses. I'm over here on my chat, and it doesn't allow me to copy the contract address, Steven. I'm sorry. No, that's not the one. Okay, so I'm not looking at the right one. It looks like a Solana contract address. Is that correct? It looks like Solana. Let me see. Give me a second. Let me see here. So I see zombie Trump. Man, I really don't see anything with that name other than the zombie Inu. Zombie Inu on BNB. This no, I don't see it. Strange. Yeah, if you can give me a little more information on it, I'll see what I can find. Go from there. Let me see. I had a few more comments. The how-to disco is done 100x from the bottom. Okay, well, with that analogy, then how did Wolf Smile? How did not Wolf Smile? What do you call it? How did LandWolf? How did LandWolf get to $300 million? That's way more than 100x from the bottom. How did Shiba Inu do a more than 100x from the bottom? I know there's thousands of projects that do more than 100x from the bottom. Pretty much anything that's in the hundreds of millions of dollars is thousands of X's up from the bottom. So I don't necessarily agree with that analogy of it's 100x from the bottom. It's done in a dead coin. That was your comment. It's a dead coin. I don't see that. I'm not really quite sure how you can come up with that. Like I said, if you look at, let's just go, Andy, back over here, it was down here trading sideways back when it launched, at, it's just right over here at, what was it at? Minus, I can't even zoom in on it. Sorry. So $2 million market cap. Well, yeah, no, it was definitely lower than that, but I saw when it launched. Let's see. There we go. Right there. 161K. 161K market cap. So Andy launched at 161K market cap, and it ran up to, what did it go up to? Just to kind of, for fun sakes here, let's see. And it ran all the way up here to 352 million. So let's just take some fun numbers. Let's see here, 352 million. 352. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 352 million. Divided by, what did I say it was? What did it come in at? Let me see. It was 160K divided by 160K. 2,200x. So all of those bubbles, all of those people, all of those guys that sniped and bubbled it at 160K market cap made a 2,200x on their investment. So I'm pretty sure that when it was 100x up from their investment at 100 and some K, that it wasn't a done dead coin. Just my personal thoughts there. I'd love to hear anybody else's opinions on that. But I mean, every coin I've seen that's in the hundreds of millions of dollars or billions of dollars in market cap does a lot more than 100x. So that doesn't make a coin a dead coin. So I don't know, just my personal thoughts. I'd love to hear some other people's opinions on that one. Sorry about this. Trash bag loaded. Michael, yes, trash is definitely on my radar for, it's just going to be amazing. Like I said, I was already looking at this. Hey, 2.6, had some buys come in. So trash definitely is one to keep an eye on, everybody, if you're watching this. Wait a minute. There we go. Yeah, trash has so much potential. It really, really does. So see a few other people in here, some new unfamiliar faces. Kevin, waiting for the hidden gem, small market cap. Hey, Kevin. So listen, if you want, join our Patreon. Check it out. Like I said, we've made some great calls in there. And we're definitely looking. I've got my team, I've got myself, I've got a couple other people, and we are really looking for just an explosive B&B play. Really, that's what we're looking for, a B&B play with the right narrative, right market cap, and that has huge potential that hasn't really caught on. That's what we're looking for. So if you want, check out the Patreon. We're probably going to be making that call in the next week, maybe 10 days, thereabouts. So definitely we're going to be having, it's going to be low cap. And I think it's going to do some serious numbers because the B&B side of things is just, there's too much going in. I think in the next few days, probably the next week, we're probably going to see B&B probably touching on all-time highs again, which is just going to make it incredibly bullish over there. So check it out, check out our Patreon if you're interested. And like I said, we called Ken Duinu last year. That was over 1,000x. We called that at 150K market cap, went to 200 million. We had several people in our VIP make over $1 million. I can vouch for that, myself included. We had several people. We called Trash Coin at a 120K and it ran to 15 million. That was 120x. And by no means is that a dead coin, according to our friend's analogy up there. And that ran from 120K to $15 million market cap within 10 days of our call. That was 120x. Once again, some people made some insane gains and it's holding incredibly well. It's been, Trash is, like I said, just a phenomenal coin. And it's definitely going to fly back past all-time highs, not a dead coin. And I definitely think we'll see Trash going up into, 20, 30, $40 million market caps this bull run. I can totally see that. So there's that potential. So definitely. Let's see here. What else we got over here? We've got quite a few comments coming in. Fantastic. This is Mo Money. So you think you bought it at 86K? You think it will hit 10 million easy? Interesting. I mean, it's a cool looking project. Like I said, I like the website. I like the character. I like the guy. I think I could see the potential. I need to maybe dig into their, Telegram and check out their community and stuff, but definitely will look into it more, Mo Money. I appreciate you showing me that and putting it on my radar. New buy alert. How many X times could you expect? 10, 20, etc. Karma. Yeah, I mean, like I said, with our buy alerts, I mean, seriously, no, I mean, it's hard to say. Like I said, we called Disco at about 130K market cap. It ran up to 3 million. That's done some great X's, and by no means is Disco done. I think, we called, like I said, I was just mentioning Kamara. We did 120X on Trash Coin. That was one of our calls. Like I said, last year we did Ken Duinu. That was over 1,000X. So the potential's there, on the calls. It just really depends on the market conditions, depends on the narratives, on the early buy alerts. So, and like I said, we don't do a lot of buy alerts. So when I put out an official buy alert, I'm not doing like 20 buy alerts a month. I'm basically trying to pick 2, maybe 3 good projects. I try to pick 1 or 2 utility projects that are not going to pump fast, that are just good long-term plays, and it's a good entry. And I try to pick maybe two good meme coin, like low cap stuff that can really fly. And, the idea is that we make money on the low cap stuff. That's what we do in our Patreon. The idea is to make money on the low cap stuff, take profits, take that money and put into the good long-term utility play projects. The stuff like investing into, Amazon or Google, back when they launched, getting in early on Tesla or this or that or whatever. Like, that's the idea, is like take profits, put into good long-term utility plays, and, build financial wealth, basically generational wealth. That's the idea. Leveraging your money, high risk, high reward, low cap memes, have some fun with that, and then really, really grow that into, a good portfolio of projects that you can just sit on, not think about, and in 5 years, you can come back and be like, wow, I'm so glad I invested in that. That's the kind of thing I like to do, and there's a few projects that really jump out at me that I'm doing that on, even things like, a lot of people laugh like ADA, I mean, best stable coin in crypto. I think it's great potential. I mean, hell, even Bitcoin, just stockpiling Bitcoin, those types of things, you won't go wrong. You won't regret it. And like I said, if you can leverage, with a small investment, leverage that, grow that, and then get positions into project, stuff like Bitcoin or ADA or Solana or whatever it is, and just sit on it, you won't regret that in the future, and there's a lot of other great calls that we make over there as well. So anyways, hope that helps. Andres Disco. Scully, Rob. Yeah, I mean, look, I checked that one out a couple times. I'll check it out again. Let me over Soli. What is that? SOLLE. Look, this guy's cool. He hasn't been doing much. He's just been kind of hanging in there. Every time I look at it, it's right around that 200, 300K market cap. It's the Solana mascot. He's a cool looking dude. He's its own narrative. Like you said, it's not a Matt Fury thing. It's not a dog coin. It's not a, it's its own unique thing, right? So it's not tapping into a narrative. That's the only weakness I can find with these types of projects, is that it has to build its own community. It has to sell itself and build a narrative, right? That's the only issue I see with it. I like the character. I like the artwork. I like the website. I like the fact that they're, running out there as the Solana mascot. It's, oh, shoot, I wasn't sharing the website. Damn it. Let me go back through here. So here you go. Here's the website. Soli, cute guy. Like I said, he's, the Solana mascot. He's got potential. I like all the art. I like it. They're going to have an NFT collection. It's got potential. Depends if it's going to have utilities. Let's see where that goes. It's an interesting project, but like I said, it's building its own narrative. So it's not like they're tapping into an existing narrative where it's just easy, where people FOMO into it, like, dog coins are pumping and all the dog coins pump, or Matt Fury coins are pumping, all the Matt Fury coins pump, right? It's not like that. So, but it's interesting. It's like I said, I like the character. I think he's definitely cute, and the fact that it's like they're portraying themselves as a Solana mascot, it's got potential. I like their banner. It's got the whole Halloween looking thing going on. Look, they're getting great engagements. 1,500 engagements, 180, not so bad. 300, not so bad. 1,500, not so bad. So look, definitely has a good community. They're posting regularly. I like the artwork. It's got potential. I haven't bought any yet. If it dips down, if I see a really good entry, it's one of those things. I might throw $1,000 at it just for some fun, see what it does. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. ZOMBI. So you guys, Steven, I really want to look for this, but I just don't see it. Let me, ZOMBI. All right, let me. ZOMBI. So when I type in zombie, all I get is zombie Inu. And I scroll down, I have zombie Inu on BNB. I have Zetard, zombie something here, zombie Trump coin. I don't see, unless it's one of these down here, because he said it was on Solana, right? And it was a Solana contract address that you shared. The problem is, guys, I see these, I can't copy them. I can't copy them for whatever reason off of, because I use StreamYard. So I get my feed here with all the things, and I can't copy that address. I can see it, but I can't copy and paste it. So I'm a little effed. Hold on. Let me go over to YouTube. Maybe if I, give me a second. Let me Give me 2 seconds here, peoples. Let me see if I can do this. Let me see if I can outsmart it. Live stream. All right, let me. Okay, hold on. I might be getting somewhere here. Hold on. I'm trying to pull it up to see if I can see comments on. Yeah, I don't see the contract address. I'm over here on YouTube. Sorry, guys. I came over to YouTube, and the contract address is not here on the comments on the YouTube video. I see your comments, Steve. Steve. Yeah, I just don't want to manually type it in. All right, I will continue to look for this coin. If let me check it out on X. Did you guys make a comment on X about it? Let me see, because I saw somebody posted the contract address. Give me a second. Let me see here. Thank you for being patient. I'm trying. Give me a second here. Not there either. So strange. All right. I will keep looking. If somebody has my TG handle, feel free to send me that. It's at jungle or at jungle_John on Telegram. Feel free to send me that contract address, and I'll check it out. And I'll definitely talk about it on the next live stream. So I do have to kind of get going. Here I'm here in the city, and let me see. All right, somebody else just posted. Let me see. Shoot. All right, everybody. I do apologize. I will have to get going, but I do appreciate all the comments. I appreciate every engagements and everybody over here. And I'm going to check out this zombie. But somebody please do me a favor. DM me in my private TG chat handle. Okay. If you can, that would be a big help. And I'll check it out. I promise. I really want to look at this project. And I'll take a look at it. Also, Trash Coin and DNA, Mo Money, DNA. I'm holding a big bag. I'm holding about $20,000 in DNA. I think DNA's got huge potential. It's just this gut feeling for me. DNA is going to go parabolic. So I don't know. I'm just this feeling. It's like a sixth sense, something about it. So everybody, listen. Seriously, don't fade disco. Trash coin, shit coin, DNA. Definitely one to put on your radars, guys. Somebody, if you have my TG handle, send me a message, at jungle John _. Okay. And give me the contract address there for that zombie, and I'll check it out tomorrow on a live stream. Everybody have a great day. Likes, please, thumbs up, comments, really helps the algorithm. Really appreciate it. I hope everybody has a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care, everybody. Thank you. Thank you again for joining.